Good morning. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do here is give you a short, I'm trying to keep it short, overview of how our new online bidding system is going to work. Now, if you're familiar with Auctionsoft for live bidding as an auctioneer and running your auctions with our system, a lot of this is going to look familiar to you. I'm just going to show you what we've added basically. So currently I'm not logged in. So you would normally just log in as normal. But what I'm showing you here is this particular tile here is for our test auction today that we're going to use for a sample. And this is the way it looks if you're running an online sale. It just simply has a little icon here that says this is an online sale. And we can combine it with live, and we also have another thing here that'll pop up if it's a simulcast, which we're working on finalizing our simulcast system as well. That should be ready to roll out here in about 30 to 60 days. Okay, but I'm going to show you just this soft close version of an online bidding tool with our system. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. And when you first come here, if you're not logged in and you click on that, it's going to bring you to the page that's all about this particular auction. It'll also tell you how long it's going to be until the soft close starts. And that would be the start of the first item. You get a page that's all about your pictures, but you also have a catalog which is open for bidding where you can come in here and start bidding. Now, if you were logged in, this would be your bid button right here. We do have the ability to set a max bid, and the system will proxy bid for you. One of the things that's a concern is that auctioneers do not know what bidders' max bids are until they have been reached in the system. We also have the ability to do buy it now, and I'm going to show you how that works here in just a minute. If the reserve is active and it is not met, it's a red button. If it is met, it'll instantly turn to green with the click that submits the winning bid over reserve. This will instantly turn green. And then you either have no shipping available for the item, or you can turn on shipping, which is a green check mark to that. All right. So I'm going to walk away from this here, and I'm going to go to another tab on my computer, which I already have some stuff ready. So now I'm logged in as Logan Butler, and he has already got permission to bid. He's already logged in. So now when he opens the catalog for bidding, and again, this is the public facing side. You've got your images. So maybe you want to put out pictures of, just general pictures of the auction, groups of stuff, large overview pictures. But when you get down to each item is going to have the ability to be bid on, that is going to be here. We also do a search box. So if I'm only interested in Jeeps, I can search Jeep very quickly and find the Jeeps that are in the sale. All right, so and then just remove the items in the search and it goes back to the way it should be. Okay, so you can see here that it does display also the number of bids, the lot number. We did give, this is new, we weren't doing this before, but we did give you the ability to put a letter in the lot number field so that you could do, in this case, 1A. Maybe they inserted this one after lot 1, whatever that might be. All right. You also have the ability to favorite items. If they are favorited, they will show up on your watch list so that you could bid on them just watching the things that you're interested in. And again, I'll go over that here in just a second. All right, so this is what the public sees. And again, here's the front page, but assuming I'm logged in. The page with the catalog on it. And I'm trying not to go too fast. All right, so let's say that you're an auctioneer and now you're logged in to that sale. This is the same sale that we were just looking at on the front end. Very similar to what Auctionsoft normally has set up for live. But when you pre-clerk an item and you create the catalog, of course, all of your items are going to be listed here prior to the auction. Now, under settings, this is kind of important. Under settings, This is the date of the sale. So for our purpose, it's the date of um, the time that the soft close is going to start. But maybe you're doing a full auction that not everything is in a catalog, but you're going to give the opening announcements and start selling the live stuff at this time. This is what controls what the public sees when they come to look at Auctionsoft's auctions that are listed. Okay. However, you need to go down here and we'll turn on the online tool, the date that the catalog items are available for bidding. And that is something that we put together. So maybe you want to start marketing your sale, but you don't have your catalog built. You can actually set a date where the system will allow people to bid or not. All right. The closing date and time is basically when the soft close will start on the first item, and then it just goes one by one through the count. All right. When you set that, and I do have it set for 9 o'clock this morning, which is in about 30 minutes, so hopefully it'll start, and I'll show you that. We set the auction to soft close, and then we can set an option on how much time you want to give between items soft closing. We do close in chronological order, one after another. So the first item has to completely close before the second item becomes available. If you have it set to 30 seconds or 2 minutes, whatever that might be, if someone bids, it will automatically reset the timer on that item and it rounds back up. So if they bid with 10 seconds left on the countdown clock, it will round back up to 30 seconds and give the other bidder a chance to bid on their end. It also sends them an outbid notification. If you are the underbidder and you just got outbid, you will get a text from Auctionsoft to say, hey, you've been outbid on these items, to make sure that you have a little bit of time to get back in if you want to. Now the text will have a link in it so that you can simply click on the link and then fire off another bid if you need to. Okay, so that's about all the things you need to know on the setup. Other than that, we're going to go back to, let's see, oops, I need to go click here to go back here. Now, because we are pre-clerking this sale, I'm going to show you how to do that. So you go over here to this button called pre-clerk. This tool right here allows you to quickly, it's like a clerking grid where you're filling out forms for the live sale, but you're doing this ahead of time. So let's say the consignor is number 88, which is what I'm using here as my sample. Now the last item here, it looks like, is lot 15 on my list. Oops, let's show all. Yeah, lot 15. So I'm going to put in 16. However, once I submit this, it'll automatically autofill 17. You can change it if you want to add an A or B or whatever you want to change it to, but it'll autofill there, so it automatically kind of keeps you in order, makes things easier. So let's sell a 5-drawer chest. And we were using images of cars, but this just happens to be a picture I've got here. You do have a condition option. You can say this chest is in very good shape. I'm not going to set a reserve, but you could, and we'll show you how to do that, or show you why you might want to do that here in a minute. You can also show an estimated low and high price for the item. Now this is just the public's information. So you can kind of set an expectation to the public of what you think something's going to bring. And this is an antique 5-drawer chest. And I'll show you that here picture in a minute. You can put as much detail here as you'd like. And we're not going to set a buy it now. If you do, you simply just set the price by clicking this button. Okay. And if you want to add shipping, you can. I'm not going to ship on this one, so I'm going to hit submit. And it automatically comes down here as 16 and autofills 17 for the next item. When it's time, then I can go in here to edit this and quick upload pictures, my demo pics, and it's a 5-drawer chest, and save the image. There it is. All right. So now we have quickly added an item to our list of items that's going to be in our catalog, as well as given it a picture. You can add as many pictures as you want. Just open that back up and drag and drop as many. But this is the main image that you want to be seen first, and then any extra images will be dropped down in here. You can add a video. Maybe you're selling a car and you want to have video of the car running and so on and so forth. You can add a video if you'd like. And you'll come back here to make any edits if you want to change anything. Maybe you put in the wrong consignor or whatever that might be. Okay, so that's how that's done. All right, so now that we've done that, let's close this. And back on our testing auction, I'm going to refresh and look at this. And we should have our chest here now. There it is. Very nice. Okay, so we still have 27 minutes, almost 28 minutes left before the first item soft closes. When it starts to soft close, a countdown timer will pop up here in the upper right hand side of the tile for that item, and it will keep track of how much time you have left to bid. And when it closes, when the item closes, this whole box will gray out for about 5 seconds. It says closed, and then it'll fade off, and then this one will start. Now the timer does start on this one while this one is kind of fading out. So it's almost immediate. Maybe there's a 1 second hop over from one to the next. But if you've got extra pictures up, the user can then scroll through any extra pictures. And if you click here, you can get a page that's all about just this one item with all the details that you want to add. And the people can still bid right from this. Let's set a max bid here. I'm willing to give $1,000 for this car, so I'm going to set my max bid. And now my max bid is winning, and it went in as the first bid of $1. Now you as the auctioneer set your bid increments. So if you want to start at $1 or $5, and I can show you how to do that in detail, but you'll go through and you'll set basically limits. Everything under $10 is $1. Everything under $100 is, $5 or whatever that is. You have total control over that. All right. Of course, the Buy It Now button is available here, and we've used our estimated high and low price here for the public to kind of see what we think it's going to be. And then now that there's bids here, I can see the bid history right there. All right. Pretty cool. Pretty clean layout. All right. Now let's go back over to here. Now, I'm sorry. Let me back up to this one, because normally you're used to, if you're a live auction user for Auctionsoft, you're used to using the general clerking grid. But when you create a catalog for online, and I do have some people that actually create catalogs, but they're still selling live, but they just want to print out the catalog and have everything organized for their live sale. That works out very nicely as well. But if you're going to use a catalog, you're going to now click on this catalog clerking grid, which gets you to this page. All right. This is what the clerk will watch if you are watching your screen. Now, in a soft close, and you're not having live bidders available, people are just bidding online from home, there's no need for a clerk. You don't need to do anything. Once you set up everything, the system runs completely on its own. At 9 o'clock, which is still, again, about 20 some minutes from now, at 9 o'clock, the first item will become active. If you are following along as a clerk or the auctioneer, just watching things happen, the Corvette image will pop up here, and you'll be able to watch as the bids come in. And we'll do that here in just a second. But as the bids come in, all of that activity that the public is seeing online with this right here will show up right here, and you can just watch all the bids come in. It'll show you what pre-bids have come in on that item ahead of time. Like I've got a max bid I set for $1,000, and that will be available for you to see. So it shows here that we have a reserve on this item of $10,000. Currently, there's only a $1 bid, and on this Corvette. Now, so far, no winning bidder. So once the item finalizes, if it has met the reserve, the winning bidder number will go here, and this will turn green. when it becomes active and you see it pop up over here, it turns yellow. So you know that's the item that's selling at this moment and it's live to the public at that moment. And then if it closes with the reserve met, it turns green and the winning number will go right here. Okay. And then you just follow along through the system and let it close everything. Let's see here. Let me refresh that. Yeah, I needed to refresh that because I was not seeing my 5-drawer chest, which now is there. Okay, and again, I did not put a reserve on that. We have no bids on that yet. I pulled that tab up before I created the chest in the catalog, so I just needed to refresh. All right. All right, so let's go back to the front end for a second. Oops, let's go to this one. So the front end for a second. I haven't started our countdown and it says we still have 23 minutes. So I'm going to pause this video for a second and start it right back up once we get closer because I want you to see what's available there.